Welcome aboard the BESETO Express. We'll cover 3 countries: Beijing in China, Sei, Seoul in Korea, and Tokyo in Japan. Together we'll explore the culture of BESETO. All aboard the BESETO Express.
What's the biggest house of all? The Earth. And on it exist millions of various different houses. Each living organism has learned the technique of building a house best suited for itself by instinct. The shapes of man's houses have differed over time and from region to region. Houses of today have become more convenient thanks to developed science and technology, but they seem separated from nature. The 3 BESETO countries also have a long history of housing culture. With its immense land, China has the largest and most diverse forms of houses. Being on a warm island nation with lots of rain and humidity, Japan has developed triangular-shaped roofs and wooden houses to compensate. In Korea, houses look natural from the inside and outside, blending in well with their environment. Let's find out about the different houses in the 3 BESETO countries.
It's me, Doris Han, your host of BESETO Express. Did you know that most Koreans save up not for a rainy day, but rather to own a house of their very own? Most Koreans find much satisfaction in owning their own house, even if it's a small one, when compared to renting a big one for the same cost. So today on BESETO Express, we're going to look at the types of houses that are present in this area. But first, let's find out why these people think it's so important to own their own house.
In Korea, location is important. The ideal Korean houses are surrounded with a mountain behind and streams flowing in the front, a style convenient for farming. This kind of site is most ideal for a house. The main gate, which can be said to be the face of a house, is the means of differentiating the inside and outside. The Korean house is one story. It is believed that building a high house where there are many mountains around will bring downfall to the family.
자연을 버타여 그렇게 집을 지으려고 했지 자연하고 자연에 거역하려고 하지 않았습니다. 그래서 우리나라 집은 자연 가까이 가면서 자연 속에 묻히려고 했고 자연을 집 안으로 끌어들이려고 하기 때문에 집을 지어도 담장을 높이지 않았습니다.
Houses of Japan are unique by being similar in their size and shape. It reflects the Japanese sense of unity. A wide roof is necessary to protect from very heavy precipitation. The homes are closed from the outside, leaving the inside in secret. So the Japanese often bring nature into their homes. China has many housing styles, but traditional ones are made from wood. As architectural techniques developed, many houses built with bricks appeared. The Chinese also put much emphasis into the location of a house. They thought a place where mountains embraced the house on both sides was the best spot. Most houses are aligned symmetrically, right and left.
中国人在盖建自己的住房以前呢，在很多地方讲究风水，就选址，就选这个房屋建在什么地方，这一点是中国人很重要的。这个选址的这种学问叫做风水。一般来说，比如说是在乡村呢、农村的建房子。
Let's take a moment now to think about all those different types of houses. There are brick houses, wooden houses, and clay houses. Naturally, the house is named after the raw materials that are used. When building any house, you start from the foundation up, but first you need to find a location. In the olden days, that location was found near a basic necessity such as the water source. Why don't we take this time now to think about the raw materials that are used in building the houses of BESETO?
Let's find out about the material most Korean houses, especially houses of the common people, were made out of. The yellow, mineral-rich hwangto, or loess. Soil most easily obtainable is hwangto. Most Korean houses are hwangto houses made with this loess. Hwangto was used both inside and outside. It lasts long and is good for the health because of its many minerals. The frame of the houses must be set with hwangto bricks, and it is then finished by applying hwangto on the outside.
나무가 방에다 놓으면은 밤에 산소를 내뿜고 그 모든 그 나쁜 가스, 일산화탄소를 흡수하잖아요. 나무하고 비슷하다고 생각하면 돼요. 그리고 황토에 있는 성분이 미네랄이라든지 아연이라든지 그 속에 있는 모든 광물질이나 이런 그 우리 인체하고 똑같은 성분을 가지고 있어요.
There were several distinctions between high and low class people in Korea in the past. Let's take a look at more formal houses. Korea had man-made houses ever since the New Stone Age. In the center of the houses were wooden beams for support. They made various kinds of maru, which is a wide and open space made by connecting flat pieces of wood together. Korean houses built like this reflected the class and nobility of its owner. Houses with tiled roofs in the shape of a whale's back was a symbol for high status. However, they needed a strong structure that could support the heavy tiles. Although it looks loose and simple, making the house to be able to support the weight of several tons is where wisdom and science are key. The most unique characteristic of Korean homes is that they rarely use nails. If you analyze its structure carefully, you'll see each piece has been fit together, so homes do not require the use of nails. It is a completely geared, sculptured art. Houses of Korea resemble nature not only in their shape, but also in their structure. Chinese houses use the landscape it is located at to the fullest, and they save land. They put much effort into decorating the home. At one point in history, common people were banned from painting their homes by the king. But aristocrats gave points to their house by using red paint at various parts of the house to give it more life. Another thing we cannot exclude when talking about Chinese houses is the perfect structure of their wooden pillars. So Chinese houses are renowned with the saying, "Even if the walls are destroyed, its pillars remain." Chinese homes have outside walls. They don't support the house, but they protect the house from the outside. Their width differs according to the region's climate and terrain. Houses of the peasant class use soil. Expensive bricks were used widely among the rich aristocrats in all regions. Let's take a closer look at the decorations the Chinese used. Exquisite carvings and red-colored decorations on the main gate welcomed good fortune and chased away bad luck. Letters or drawings symbolizing luck were also put opposite the main gate on walls inside the house.
西方建筑和伊斯兰建筑大部分都是用砖头或者石头来砌造出来的，所以中国建筑基本上都是木结构的，还有一些很小的，还有一些局部的地方，比如说西北用的窑洞民居，就在那个黄土比较深厚啊，木材比较缺乏，于是在黄土里面就挖出一个个洞，人居住在这个洞，这个洞就叫窑洞，这叫窑洞式民居。总而言之，中国民居的类型是非常丰富的。
Most Japanese houses are made entirely of wood. Wooden houses with tiled roofs. This is a form of housing that suits the long and hot summer climate of Japan. It's important to choose hard wood that can sustain earthquakes as well. The middle part of the roof is high so that rainwater does not leak into the house. The technique of connecting pieces of wood was critical to house building in Japan.
なんていうんですか、石器時代を過ぎた後はだいたいあるじゃないですか。ほとんど木材で家屋を作ってきたというのが実態じゃないですか。だけどもやはりその土地土地に合った気候風土に合った材木を使うというのが日本の建築の建前じゃないかと思うんですよ。
Any architect can tell you when designing to build a new house, the most difficult part, or the part that takes the most technical work, is the roof. The shape and design of the roof will decide how the rest of the house will look like. Since today's show is looking at the unique characteristics of the Asian houses, let's start off with the roof.
The element that gives the whole feel of a Chinese traditional house is its roof. The highest and largest roof was made in places where important social interactions took place. In places where buildings were located together, roofs formed by making layers were often made. They differed somewhat according to region as well as terrain. The Chinese like to elaborately decorate the part where the roof and the walls met. Various forms of decorations reflecting the tradition of different regions developed. The decorations also reflected the power of the house owner, so the larger the decoration, the higher his status. Chinese houses are large in scale. Many seem like palaces, and the tip of their roofs are sharply curved upwards. When you visit villages of minority peoples, you can see more diverse forms of roofs that may remind you of a circular stadium. Roofs of Japan are very steep compared to those of China and Korea, so their roofs seem to look unusually big. Their steepness keeps the inside cool and dry. They use materials that last and avoid fancy decorations. The roofs also have holes so that water can easily drain, that also aided by their flat shape. Since it is windy, the tip of the roofs are lowered rather than curved up. Most roofs of Japan were of reed and pine in the past, but as temple cultures were passed from China, they began to use tiles. Now most are tiled roofs.
で木造でこう骨組みを組みまして、でそれで、壁を支えて、 でそれからその上にさらに骨組みを組んで屋根を支える構造です。でその構造が支える屋根っていうのは、雨をねまず落とさなきゃいけないんで、基本的には勾配っていう傾きを持った三角形の形、これが大きい、大基本って言いますかね。
Houses of the common people in Korea have flat curves. They look like the shapes of the hills behind them. Since they didn't have money to buy tiles, they made their roofs with thatched straw when they finished their harvests. Straw has heat-blocking effects, so it's cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Straw-made roofs are the most typical for common people and look truly natural. Tiled roofed houses are the representative houses of the aristocratic people of Korea. Tiles which were baked in high temperatures don't change for years and are hard and are water resistant. They are used widely as material for roofs. Various forms of roofs were built according to one's status. When dark-grayed tiles are assembled with white walls and brown wooden pillars, it creates the unique beauty of a Korean house. In Korea, houses were not just a type of architecture or place to live, but they had to be beneficial to the sky, earth, and man. There were other rules, like building the outer walls and guest rooms last. They believed that the power of life could only exist when harmony between the sky and land was achieved. Palaces of Korea also had the graceful beauty of curves rather than straight lines, and they liked to reveal them rather than hide them.
보자기의 네 모서리를 잡았을 때 중간 부분이 처지게 됩니다. 그때 나타나는 그 곡선을 우리나라의 지붕선으로 잡고 있습니다. 그래서 우리나라의 지붕선은 완만한 어떤 곡선을 가지고 있고, 그래서 전체적으로 보면 3차원 곡선을 만들어 가지고 우리나라의 지붕선은 네 모서리가 처져 보이지 않고 어떤 조형미를 이루고 있습니다.
People hold many expectations when moving to a new house, but at the same time, they can't get rid of those sentimental feelings towards their old residence. In Korea, there's a saying that there's a close bond to houses that are made out of stone and wood. Although houses are non-living entities, many people feel a close bond to them. I guess the reason for this is because much of the person's livelihood is spent within that house. Thank you for watching today's show. See you next time.
The houses of the three BESETO countries, where the home, nature, and man could become one. Made with materials provided by nature and built to harmonize with nature. The traditional houses of the three BESETO countries, a cycle of life protecting life.